Well, welcome to the Choppin It Up podcast featuring your boy Jordan.
What up? What up? It's your boy Eric.
We are back at it with another episode, man. I am super pumped, man, for today's episode. I know on the last podcast, Eric and I kind of mentioned that we're going to have some guests. And so we're here now and we wanted to fulfill that. And so with that said, man, we are honored to have our very first guest today on the podcast, man. This brother right here has been doing his thing behind the camera for a minute now. He's a lifestyle filmmaker, photographer. So, man, without further ado, man, Trey Summers, my brother, man, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, man.
Can I clap myself up?
Yeah,
of course.
Let's get some clapping going.
Yeah.
And I wish I had a little button, you know, like them
Right. No,
podcast,
off
like,
to the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just hit the little claps.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, well, we're getting there. We're on a budget.
Yeah,
right now. Mm-hmm.
Awesome, man. Well, Trey's brother, man, welcome, man. Thank you again, bro, for hopping on, man.
For sure.
I'm super excited, man, to really have this conversation with you, man, and really, you know, get a chance to know you like we had talked about before we got started, bro. Like I haven't really got a chance to really sit down and talk to you, man. So I'm really looking forward to this convo, man, and really just kind of helping others too that want to go around this path.
For sure.
There's a lot of people that are photographers and filmmakers and maybe don't know how to get started. So, you know, we're definitely
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to help you. So, Eric, bro, let's get this thing popping, man. Really, you know, just Trace, bro, just kind of give us a background about you. You know, where you're from, what you do.
Bro. So,
you know, who is Trace Summers? You know.
Right. No, for real. So basically, right now, like you said, I'm a lifestyle video maker, photographer, etc. You know, I specialize in music videos as of right now. But I dabble in other things. Me and my fiance, actually, we do weddings and engagements and stuff like that as well. Something that we're super passionate about. I'm originally from Texas. I've never left here. You feel me?
Same here,
I've
bro.
always been here.
Yeah.
Bro, I grew up in Louisville and I've never lived anywhere 30 minutes away from there. But you know, I feel like Texas definitely being here and being like this type of space, like definitely even right now helps me out a lot because when I shoot videos and stuff like that, I got to look at everything with a third eye, basically. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that gas station that I've passed a million times in my life is all of a sudden now the best location I've ever seen. You know what I mean? So like, and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That you kind of have to just like, you know, keep in mind and stuff like that. But yeah, basically, you know, I live my life. I have a son. Like I said, me and my fiance, we do what we do. You know, I do basically what I do for them, you know, so I got to shout them out. And yeah, man, so I'm just out here, I'm grinding, bro, trying to make it happen, you know?
I love that.
That's super.
You want to go ahead
bro.
and plug your IG?
Yeah, bro, you can follow me on Instagram. That's where you can see basically most of my work. Trey Summers Media. Twitter is Trey Summers. I don't post most of my work there, but I'm a funny guy too. So, and then I like to think I'm funny. And then you can have me on Facebook as well. Facebook is where you're gonna see like most of like my family stuff and stuff like that, which I love to share as well. So, yeah, for sure, just Trey Summers.
Dope.
For sure, bro. For sure.
So I want to kick it off with a question. I think a lot of people who are in this space get asked is like, do you consider yourself a creative, or, you know, what do you call yourself? You know, are you a videographer? Are you a photographer? Or do you like encompass the creative?
I love the word creative because like this is gonna just go back to like what I was saying about me being funny. I tell my fiance all the time, it's really hard, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, but it's really hard growing up living a life where you're pretty much like whatever I decide I want to do, I'm gonna figure out how to do it. You know what I mean? So it's hard to figure out how to navigate that, because especially like when you're thinking about, okay, God, what have you called me to? Because you're like, okay, so He could have called me to basketball because I was cold at that. And then he could have called me to, you know what I mean, being, you know, whatever, you know, like a speaker or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like the video thing, which, you know, is what, when I started doing it, I felt was like, okay, this is cool. But I never wanted to box myself into that because, like I said, growing up, whatever I put my mind to, I wanted to do it, I could do it. You know what I mean? So I kind of just like, I feel like creative is the best term, because when I start calling myself a videographer, now I'm just a videographer. Or if I'm just a photographer, I'm just a photographer. You feel me? Something I've even been doing recently is just like directing videos. You know what I mean? And then outside of videos, you know what I mean? Like just doing whatever it is, X, Y, Z, that may have nothing to do with videos, but I still have to use my imagination with and build and create with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In term creative. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. I think
sure, yeah.
I think we both, me and Jordan, I think we both can kind of understand where you're coming from with that, because I think, you know, me personally, I'm more on the artsy side of the creative,
right.
But I feel like Jordan, he's more on the entrepreneurial side of what creative can be, you know,
right.
Starting businesses, doing stuff like that. And all of that can encompass being a creative.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's super important, man. Like you don't want to just kind of have a narrow view of a creative. You want to kind of
right.
Just that spirit of just so many different things and really just experimenting with different things.
Right. Because I feel like, okay, so I'll put it like this. I thought at one time that being, I thought I was supposed to be making music, right? Yeah. I was really talented in it. I could, you know, really like make good songs. But I just looked at it and I was like, I love this, but I just don't love this. You know what I mean? But then I saw a hole where I was going to the studio at my cousin's house probably every day, honestly. Like I would get off of work and I'd go straight to his house. Like my job was 10 minutes away from his house. I'd literally get off of work, I served. So, you know, I smell like food and stuff like that. So I'd go to his crib, I'd take a shower and we start recording. And so one day we were making music and this one kid was like, man, I just wish I knew somebody who was like really cold at videos. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, my Instagram kind of clean, you know what I mean? You know, I was like, I feel like if I bought a camera, I could figure it out. You know what I mean? And that was like 6 months into me making music. So because I thought that that's what I was supposed to be doing, it put me in the right position to be able to see a gap that I knew I could fill. Yeah. You see? So, you feel me?
That's
so sometimes you just have to be like, you know, invested in what you're in right now, because it all works together. And then so as soon as, you know, you find that one thing, something else might line it up. You know what I mean? To where you find the gap, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think Gary Vee actually talks about how, you know, you may love football, you may love like X, Y, and Z, but you don't necessarily need to be doing that. You can still be a part of that world. Maybe you're the person that, you know, is the manager of a football player or something like that.
Right.
You know? You're still in what you love. You're not just doing it, you know, but you're at a place where you're working your strengths and not what you're, you know, what you're weak at.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Right.
That's awesome, man. Well, also too, Trace, like where did you kind of, you might have said it, but where did you like learn to really start doing, you know, photography and filmmaking?
Honestly, bro. So like I said, like I knew I always liked taking pictures and stuff like that, because like I was the dude, bro, in the early days of Instagram. If I saw a sunset, I was pulling over, I'm gonna take this picture, I'm gonna throw this vignette on it, and I'm gonna post it. You feel me? Right now, like I'm not moving until this picture is edited and posted. So I knew that I had some kind of like passion just for like visual, you know, things, but I never saw it as like anything that was like, you know, whatever. And then so when I picked up a camera, I thought it was going to be as easy as, you know, photography really wasn't that hard, but it was videos where I was like, okay, I don't think I know really exactly how to do this yet, because I would like watch my videos and I watch somebody else's videos and I'd be like, why don't my video look like that? You know what I mean? So what I really did is I went to YouTube University. You feel me? Yeah, you know, I really like man, I found out, you know, what the real basics were that I needed to know. And then I worked with that, you know, like figuring out what, you know, ISO, aperture, shutter speed, all that kind of stuff was. And then I just from digging into those things, you know, I found out about lighting, you know, and so I ended up buying a couple lights and stuff like that, bro. So like I said, man, I really just like, I did my research, you know, it's literally available. If you want to know it, it's there. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no excuses, really.
Yeah, man. There's
YouTube
like
University.
I literally just moved, and I had to move a couch, and I did not think I was gonna be able to move this couch, right? So I looked up how to move a couch, and like, you know what I mean, with just two people. And it was like, oh, just get a dolly and do this, blah, blah, blah. Literally, I ain't break a sweat bringing the couch here. You know what I mean? And I thought I was gonna be here for days. You know what I mean? So like, it's stuff like that. It's just like, man, if you want to know, it's right there. You know, you just have to be passionate enough to spend the hours on YouTube University. You know, and dig for it.
Free. And it's free.
It's free 99. That's my favorite number.
Right. It's free.
My favorite number.
Yeah, I think it's important, man. It's the execution behind it.
Right.
Actually taking the time to go online and look up stuff to learn about.
And I shot that too. Go out and do it. Go out and do it. Do your research and then go do it. Right. Because like a lot of creatives are like, oh yeah, bro, I'm not leaving my house until you know, blah 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 blah. Right. Bro, screw the money, screw all of that, bro. Yeah. Go do it. If you're new to this, go do it. Yeah. And as you do it, the more, like, I noticed that when I was doing a free video, not only was I getting better, I was posting, and because I was posting, there's other people who could see that I knew what I was doing now, you know what I mean? And now, you know what I mean? They're like, they don't have to guess if they're booking this kid who knows what he's doing. They can go look at my Instagram and be like, oh, okay, I know that when I book him, this is what I'm gonna get out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
For sure.
Right. Yeah, that's legit, bro. That's
super important.
Right.
Do you feel like that the photo and the video went hand in hand for you, or do you feel like you were kind of more interested in one and then one came after the other?
Honestly, I like taking photos more than I like doing videos. I'm a quick creative, right? So I want to see my work now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do it, and then I want to be able to look at this and be like, this is how I did this. And with photos, I can do that. I can go do a photo shoot right now and have the photos back to you in 30 minutes if I really wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially because like the presets thing, you know what I mean? So like, I edit one, I edit all of them. You know what I mean? Right. But basically, you know, like I like doing photography more. But really where videos came in was really the money, honestly. I saw how much I could profit off of a video. You know, it took 2 hours on my day. And at the time, I think I was charging like $150, right? Yeah. But like when I first started doing videos, I was charging like $150, but I also lived with my mom, you know what I mean, at that time. So it was like $150, and all I got to do is pay for the electricity and my insurance. Bet, you feel me? Like, I do 2 videos, I'm straight. You know? So like, that's really where the video thing came in. But because now that I've grown in videography, and I've figured out like how it really, maybe I was just better at photos too, and that's why I thought I liked them more. But because I've gotten better at videography, and like, there's just something about being a quick creative and being able to look at your work, but there's also something about like, I sat down at the computer for a week and a half and I moved this clip here and I moved that clip there, and I did this keyframe, and you know what I mean? And looking at that and being like, oh yeah, this is what it's like. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's like for a painter to spend 10 years on, you know, a painting, and be able to look back on it and be like, yeah, I remember what I was doing that day when I did that part. You know what I mean? Right. And like, I do that with my edits, you know, like I sometimes I watch my music videos, not even to listen to the music, but because like, it brings me back to a place in my life. You know, I like watching my old videos because it makes me remember the days where, you know, I was sitting in the house, like literally about to cry because I was like, this is never going to work out. I just quit my job. I'm never going to be able to, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm never really going to be able to make this work, to now where I'm at and being like, wow, like, you know, hindsight is 2020, you know, if I just would have, you know, and I used to tell people all the time, I used to be like, you know, just stay down, because like eventually I'm gonna come up, you know, and you know, and some people did, some people didn't, and I forgave the people who didn't, but the people who did, you know, they reap the benefits of that, you know. So
yeah, it's the importance of just not giving up. If you really love what you do, if you really want to do what you want to do, man, you just can't give up, because there's gonna be down days, bro. Like, but for me, man, with you know, the business that I have, man, like I resell sneakers, right? And there's days, bro, where like I don't have any sales, bro. Like today it's just slow, you know, and then I'll wake up the next day and I got like 10 sales, bro. Like it's just crazy how that works. But if I just gave up that day before, I'm like, you know what, man, let me just take all these shoes down, man, delete all my accounts, and I'm good. Then nothing will come from that. It's just staying consistent, staying patient, because I struggle with patience.
Me too, bro. Me too.
Bro, I cannot be, but it's just staying patient, man, and really just keeping at it, because I think God has a vision for us, man. We just got to keep walking into it, you know.
Absolutely.
I think that's super.
And he's already there. He sees it, right? Because that's one thing I always tell myself, even now, because I'm like, okay, I'm really like, I'm doing good, but I'm still not where I want to be. But I look at it and I'm like, okay, back then I said the same thing. Like, okay, I'm doing okay, but I'm not where I want to be, right? So am I always going to be not where I want to be, right? But this future was set up for me, right? Because if you would have told me it was going to be like this 2 years ago, I'd be like, man, shut up. You know what I mean? But I look at that now and I'm like, in 2 years, somebody's going to tell me, like, I'm going to tell myself, if I told myself 2 years ago now, you know, in the future where God is already at, setting it up for me, you feel me? Then I'm going to look back and I'm going to be grateful for the times where I was like, okay, I got to go shoot 4 videos this weekend to make it happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, like I absolutely agree that you got to be patient. You got to just keep grinding. You got to keep going, bro. You don't keep going, like ain't nobody going to give you the motivation like you can give yourself. You feel me? When you stop like waiting for somebody to hit you up to go do a video or whatever, or to, you know, hit you up for a sale or whatever, and you start getting online and you're messaging people like, hey bro, I got these, you know, 11 and a half, you know, one, blah, 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 you know, let me know. And you hit a few people, one of them's going to eventually be like, they may not hit you today, but tomorrow they're going to be like, oh, he did say he got them in 11 and a half. You know what I mean? You got to stay down. You know what I mean? Because, and in that moment, you like, oh, he didn't buy them, but you set it up. So that tomorrow. You know what I mean? You feel me?
For sure. That's awesome. Man. You preaching, bro. You preaching, dog.
No, bro. Hey, bro. I'm passionate about this, dog. I'm really passionate about it, because I look at a lot of people who, you know, like I honestly, bro. I know this is really weird, but like a lot of times I look at homeless people, right? And I look at them and I'm like, okay, so you probably got in a situation, right, where a lot of people, you know, either force through it, they give up, or they really just didn't have it, right? And I never really just didn't have it, and the other one is on me if I do it, right? If I just give up. So what's my only other option? Push through it, right? And so I look at that and I'm like, okay, because I could have ended up like that, bro. There was a time 2 years ago where like I was about to lose my apartment, I didn't have a car, I literally was like, I packed my camera stuff and was like, I don't know where I'm gonna go. You feel me? Like there was really a time where I was like that. And that's why I look at those people and I'm like, I could have literally been that had I not just said, there is no way I'm going to do that to myself. You feel me? And it's literally that serious. Some creatives don't see it like that, but literally you pushing through one more day is the decision of you having an eternal downfall or an eternal come up. You feel me? Like that can change everything. It's literally day by day, you know? And it's just literally, it's like today I woke up and I haven't had Wi-Fi for 2 days, but I have people who need their videos. You feel me? So I got up, I got what I needed to get done. and I sent them what they needed. You feel me? And I could have been like, yeah, bro, I just got my Wi-Fi back today. I'll hit you up tomorrow, maybe the next day. But bro, like, if I got it, I got to do it. And you've been waiting for it. And I know you're going to come back too. So I'm not trying to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, like, I'm just going to push through and get it done. You know what I mean? Because what if I do lie to you and tell you that I don't have Wi-Fi or something? You feel me? That may be the time where you're like, you know what? Trace be BSing. So I'm going to go to, you know, the next man. And now I just lost something because I didn't want to get up. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, sometimes we gotta learn to not hold ourselves from, you know, something that potentially can make us money or opportunity or
absolutely.
Because sometimes, bro, even for me, like I still have that little Jordan in me, bro, that's like negative, that's always talking down on me, like all these things, bro, and I'm just like, nah, bro, like not today, like we ain't.
Yeah. That's what you have to do, right? That's that's literally what you have to do, bro. It's literally like there's a side of depression that only creatives get, that only creatives will understand, right? And it's deep. It's real deep. And I don't think people get it because they're like, oh, they're creative, they get to do whatever they want every day, and you know what I mean? Like they're hard body because they are all work and all, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's days, bro, where like I wake up and I'm like, yo, I'm not in it right now. You know what I mean? Like this is like should I should hop on, you know, findajob.com right now, because if I don't, everything's gonna go down. I mean, it's literally like an anxiety that's like, if this doesn't work, I don't know what else is going to happen. You know what I mean? And I have those days often, right? And I've even learned that sometimes I embrace it, because the next day when I wake up and I feel good, I'm gonna be like, I don't know what that was, but I'm gonna feed off of it. You feel me? Because like the next video that I get booked, I'm gonna go even harder because I don't want to feel like that ever again. You know what I mean? So like, it is that, bro, where you just have to like, you have to realize that there is a side of depression that nobody else except for a creative or an artist will ever understand. Ever, right? And it's real. It's depression, bro. I've never been depressed until I started doing this, bro. I never had a problem with depression or like anger, like real true anger. Like there's an anger that comes from feeling like you're going to fail and it's not going to work out. And like I've experienced it. I experience it all the time. And I literally, it was like something I had to learn how to not take out on the people around me, because I had to learn that that's what it was. You know what I mean? Like it's an anger that comes from me just wanting to be what I know I can be so bad and not being there yet, you know? And not really even seeing like what it's going to look like yet, you know? But yeah, bro, I absolutely agree that you like, man, you have to fight through that every single day, bro.
That's awesome.
Man, I feel that. Me, dog. I feel that heavy, man. Like, you know, recently I went through a super like life-changing experience of me leaving my career job that I was been working at for, you know, way too long, to end up, you know, just being like, why did I fight so hard for this job, to end up being like, dang, I don't even want to be here no more.
No, seriously.
But man, I mean, that's so heavy. A lot of people, I feel like, you know, they look at this this lifestyle or this life path and they think, man, they're so lucky. They get to, you know, like you were saying, you get to get up and do whatever you want. Yeah, but you also have to worry about where that paycheck's going to come from every day too. And you know, continue to just push through that feeling, and it's not easy. I commend you for just being so honest and open about that, because I feel like a lot of it is glamorized, and a lot of it, you know, is just the highlights of what we see on IG, like people say. So I think that's so important for people to realize and hear out. You know, if you're gonna go through this path, you gotta realize it's not like a walk in the park. You're gonna have to fight every day for what you love and what you believe in.
Absolutely
100%, man. So man, I'm loving this conversation, bro. This is
for real, bro.
This is gonna speak to so many people, bro. It's speaking to me, man. Eric, I'm speaking to you, man. So I'm just enjoying this, man.
For sure.
So kind of talking about, your work, how did you what was the process like in regards to kind of like outsourcing, your work and really finding people to find business and whatnot?
Yeah, bro. Like I said, it was a lot of just going to do it, bro. So like, I gotta give some people their props. Like one artist I worked with, Jubilee Valley. Like, bro, I'm telling you, there was not a day except for a Sunday that we didn't shoot, bro. Like literally, and that was just because like our church schedules were opposite. Like he went to church in the evening and I went to church in the morning. But besides that, bro, like we were shooting. You know what I mean? And so I would encourage you to find your one. You know what I mean? Like find your person that you're like, I'm willing to sacrifice my time and my effort because I believe in this person enough. Right. And also a lot of my stuff came from him. Like, people early on in my shoots, a lot of people would hit me up and be like, Juice hit me. And that was just from me being like, or they would see things I posted with me and him. Like there was a point in time when my Instagram looked like his Instagram. It was like, it was all him, but it was because, like I said, like for one, I was getting better and really just like trying to figure out that camera, bro. Like that was my main motive, was like, I'm gonna figure out this camera. And then like I said, I found my one that I was like, okay, I'm willing to sacrifice, whatever time it is that I'm sacrificing, or gas or whatever, to get better, and it paid off. It's paying off right now. Yeah, bro. So that was kind of just like how I really like started building a clientele, was like finding my one and putting work out. That and just making other things. So people really underestimate this, bro.
Yeah.
Every time I make a video like this, like where I'm like talking and like, like I set up the camera or some like YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Every time I post one of those, I book 2 videos at least. It never fails. Right? Or if I post a video of like my son, you know what I mean? Or like me and my family went on vacation this summer, and I posted a video that I made, probably the best video I've ever made, honestly, right? I posted that video and I booked 3 videos that day. Wow. Right? So you really have to stop making just what you like making, right? Because from what I felt like was like, I posted those videos and they were like, okay, if he can make those, then what can he do with a music video, which is, I'm talking about a cakewalk compared to videos like what I'm talking about. Because like videos like that, bro, you have to worry about sound design. You have to worry about correct lighting, right? I never used an ND filter in my life until I made that video, right? But like, I had to figure out those things because I was like, this video that I make on this vacation is going to be one of the best things that I just wanted to be proud of it, honestly. I just wanted to like look back on that video and really, I'm really passionate about my son having quality things to watch when he grows up. Cause think about it, bro, all of our VHS videos and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like they're pretty hard to like, they're pretty hard to like really see what's going on. Like, yes, we can see ourselves, but then it skips every, 2 minutes or whatever, right?
Right.
So I'm really passionate about making sure that he has, I'm talking about his baby videos are in 4K. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, like I'm really passionate about making sure that he has quality things to where he can like truly see what his mother and father looked like, when, we were whatever age he's watching it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I just, like I said, I got real passionate about that, about making things that were not music videos, because like I said, people will like, so say you're a rapper, right? But you feel like, this beat might be out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But you feel like you could really like, do something to it. I would encourage you to do something to it, right? Because when you drop that, those songs that you were dropping, everybody's like, oh, that's tight. Like he that's another bar, whatever. Then you come out with something like melodic or something, they're gonna be like, oh, like he's different. Like he's like really in his bag. He doesn't have to like stay in one lane. You know what I mean? And so when people see that, people are going to appreciate that. And then they're going to be like, okay, if he can do that, then he can obviously do this. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro. Yeah.
Awesome.
Man, I love that. So I got a question for you. You know, I want to go back, you know, a little before you were doing this as your full-time job. You know, what was the moment where you kind of, it was like your aha moment, like, you know, that you were like, I can do this full-time, I can quit my job, and I think I can do this. You know, where were you working? You know, what was that like? And then what was the feeling of like leaving?
So I'm kind of a weird one, bro, because if I told you that I've ever kept a job for more than probably like 7 months, I'd be lying to you, right? Because as soon as I the first time I ever did it was I was working for this trucking company, right? I was making $23 an hour, right? And I was working like 60 hours a week, right? Yeah. So I'm talking about, but I was working 60 hours a week, but I was also working like 15-hour days, which means that I still had multiple days off, right? Because one of my biggest things is like a lot of people work hard to make the money, but they don't got time to spend the money, right? So I was sitting there like, okay, I got the time to make the money and I got the time to spend the money. You know what I mean? So like, This is probably where I'm going to be for a really long time, right? So I was there for probably like 5-6 months, right? And one day I was sitting there and did I go away?
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
You came back.
Okay. Okay. I was there for probably about 5-6 months, and one day I was sitting there, and one of the managers had came in, and he like said something to me that I don't even remember this guy's name, but he said something to me that just made me feel really like mad. Like I was honest, I was really mad. Like I think I was kind of confused with what the feeling was, because like I'd already kind of been feeling like I don't like doing this. Like, so not only was I doing that job, I was also doing music videos at the time too, right? So I was like pretty embedded in both, right? So I was like, but I can make this work, because I think I was like off on like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So those are like perfect days to be off if you're shooting music videos. You know what I mean? So I was pretty embedded in both. I was like, I can make this work, right? And he said something to me that just like made me feel like just real irritated. And I had already been thinking about going, so I got into this like weird place where I was like, man, I'm about to get up, I'm about to leave right now. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm just gonna get up and I'm just gonna go. But it wasn't because of the music videos, it was because I was just mad, and I had enough money at the time to be mad enough to leave. And I was like, I'll find another job anywhere else. I'm the best person in here, blah, blah, blah. They'll be calling, begging me to come back, right? So I ended up leaving, or I ended up staying, and I was sitting there and I was still irritated about like an hour and a half later, right? We weren't allowed to be on our phones at work, but about an hour and a half later, I had a break. So I went outside for my break, and I had 3 messages from different people asking me if I could shoot that night and the next day, right? 3 different, totally separate people. One person wanted to shoot that night, 2 people wanted to shoot the next day. And that's when I was like, you know what? That's like, I was charging like $200. I was like, that's like $600 that I'm passing up by being here. I was like, I'm just gonna make it work. And I ended up getting up and I left, right? I think I wrote a 2 weeks or whatever on like a napkin or something, and I threw it on the desk and I left. And that was the first time I ever quit a job to, I guess, fully pursue something, you know? But that wasn't like my aha moment. Like, I think I kind of knew I was gonna have to get another job. But the real moment that I really was like, yeah, I can do this, right, was I was working at this place called Hash House at Go-Go.
Bro,
right? I was serving tables. Yes, bro. I was serving
I've
tables.
never heard of that.
Bro,
chicken waffles fire, dog.
It was bad for me. It was very bad for me to work there, bro. It was very bad for me to work there.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I was working at this place, and I was actually living. I just moved to Denton at the time, because my fiance goes to TWU.
Okay.
So we were living in Denton, and I was driving to Plano to serve tables, right? But I mean, it was pretty much like, you know, I mean, it was like pretty much a full-time job, salary like wise, you know, like what I was making, because like it's so expensive there, you know what I mean, that like the tips in turn were, you know, adequate. But it was actually this lady, she was sitting there, and I overheard her talking about being stressed out about a wedding videographer. And I was like, I had no experience with that at the time, like no experience, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna show her a music video that I've made, right? My favorite music video I've ever made. And I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna be like, I've never done a wedding video before, but I do know how to use a camera, and this is how I'm gonna show her that I know how to use a camera, right? And when she saw the video, she was like floored. Like she was like, oh wow, you know what I mean? And at this time, bro, I thought I sucked. You know what I mean? Like I thought that video that I showed her was good, but I really thought I sucked. You know what I mean? So she was just like so taken away, and really her reaction, you know, that lady I'll probably never see that lady again, but what she doesn't know is that her reaction to that video was the moment where I was like, I'm in, you know what I mean? Like 100%, because if this little white lady likes my music video, right, then I must be doing something right. You know what I mean? Like I could tell that it was like a genuine, like she was like, wow, like he really knows how to do it. And I don't think I ever ended up actually, she gave me her number and stuff, but I don't think I ever actually ended up doing the video. But yeah, like that was the moment, like when she told me, like I was so used to like all my friends being like, oh yeah, he hard, blah, blah, blah. But like, she was like, oh my God, this was so amazing. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, that, you know what I mean? You know, like, you know, like I'm good. And then I was scheduled the next day, and I just didn't show up. So, yeah, man. And that was actually the last job. I worked one job after that. Right before my son was born, I worked at Best Buy. And I quit that one too for music videos. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's just like I said, every time I get in a job, I'm really good, man. Like my manager at Best Buy, he was so mad when I told him I was leaving. I was like, he was like, man, you are the best person. Like every time somebody had a question about you know, cameras and stuff like that, like they immediately called me. You know, because I'm a camera scientist. Like even if I know I'll never have the camera, I'm gonna go watch the video and know everything about it. Like Eric knows.
Yeah, I know.
I text Eric all the time, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, you seen the new blah, blah, blah?" Yeah, bro. I'm like, I know all the specs to everything. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he was like, you know, we've never had somebody who was like as passionate about it. Blah blah blah. We really needed that, but it was just not something that I was willing to do. You know what I mean? And, you know, some people would be like, oh, so you mean to tell me you got to work with cameras and like blah, blah, blah. But it was still a job. You know what I mean? Like, it was still like something I had to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and get dressed and go to work and be there when I could be making money on my own time. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, you put on that blue Best Buy shirt, man. It don't look too good on a brother, man.
Bro, I used to try to cook it too, boy. I used to wear the breads too. I used to wear the breads. I'm talking about, boy, I was in there, bro, but there was nothing that it could do. The only thing that helped me was when they told me that I didn't have to tuck in my shirt no more. I was like,
yeah,
I bet. But
you like,
right, bro. I was out of it because I was already kind of like the rebellious one, so I tried to see how long I could get through the day without my shirt tucked in before they said something to me. But they always ended up saying something. But once they told me I didn't have to tuck my shirt in no more, I was like, Besky. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm in there.
That's fine,
but yeah, bro. Still, that can save me.
I think what's so awesome about that, man, is that it's like some random stranger gave you that light bulb that really just
right.
You to.
I'll never see that woman again, probably. Bro.
Right, you've never see. It's almost like it was an angel sent. You know,
right.
I always think about this, bro. I'm like, man, like it's crazy how timing works. You know,
right.
Like, you can literally like you could have left your house at a later time and maybe had missed her.
Right.
She came.
Actually, come to think about it, she was one of the tables I wasn't supposed to be closing that night. but somebody left before me and they ended up closing. So I never would have had that table had that never happened. You're right.
Crazy.
Look at it.
Crazy, bro.
Look at it.
It reminds me of that Kendrick song, How Much a Dollar Cost?
Yeah, Yep.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
That's crazy.
It's
bro.
crazy how that works, man. So that's awesome to hear, bro. Because sometimes, like, yeah, we have our friends that can help us and motivate us, but sometimes you need that random person that doesn't know nothing about you but sees what you do and sees your work and gives you that compliment. You just like, man, I can rule the world now because
absolutely.
This random person, really taught me. So that's awesome, bro.
Right.
I'm also curious too, man. Because for me, like my mom and my dad, bro, they're not really, too big on, entrepreneurship and ownership. My mom was more so about the security side, like working a full-time job.
Right.
I guess I want to ask you, like, what was your parents' reaction when you told them, like, hey, mom, like, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. Because sometimes your parents might have a different vision for you. But you're like, nah, mom, like, I'm good. Like, I love you, but this is not for me. So
No, for sure.
If you had to deal with that.
So thankfully, God blessed me with amazing parents.
Yeah.
So more so, my dad was more accepting of it at first. Because me and my dad, our relationship is basically music, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically made around, our relationship is made around what I do for a living. You know what I mean? So I knew he never was going to be like, the only time he ever questioned it was when I was about to have my son. He was like, are you going to be able to provide for them just doing this? And that was, the only time that he was ever like, kind of like, okay, because he always knew that, like, I had money, so I was good. He'd ask me, like, do you need some money? And I'd be like, no, I'm straight, and so he knew I was good. As long as I'm good, then, because he knows I would tell him if I wasn't good, so like, yeah. But my mom was kind of like, how your parents are. My mom was, she was really adamant about me at least trying school. Like, she was like, just try it. She's like, just do what you can do with school. And if you really don't like it, then we'll figure out where to go from there. And I kind of did the same thing with school. I went to community college and I hated it. CF&I and I hated it. And I went back to community college and I hated it, and I changed my major both of those times, I went to community college and I still hated it. And so I told my mom, I was like, so I think what I did that helped my mom a lot was that I did find a stable income, because that's when I got the job at the trucking company where I was working a lot. So I kind of gave her the best of both worlds, right? And so kind of what you have to do, especially if you have parents who support you, is you have to give them what they want and still be hungry enough to go get what you want, right? So like, I have a friend who makes music, but he just graduated college because that's what his parents wanted, right? So now he's done with college. He tried what they wanted him to do, and now he's all in on music. You know what I mean? So, and they support him in that because he did what they asked him to do, you know? And it's like, I'll say, like, even like with my son, like, if he decides he doesn't want to do something that is, like, I mean, what I'm hoping is that, I'm going to set him up to where he won't have to decide. But in the case that we get to that point, I want him to be able to provide for himself and have a safety net while also chasing his dreams, because that also does create a certain type of perseverance in a person that isn't taught. Like, I can't teach him how to be hungry for what I know is good for him and what he knows is good for him, at the same time, because I'm never going to say that my mom was wrong. You know what I mean? Because there was times that I was in college and I was like, you know what? I'm, actually, like, I'm feeling this right now, but it always boiled down to, like, I'd get like 4 shoots and be like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like, why am I in class right now when I should be editing, And so I would say do your best first to see if there's any way that you can fit in what their dreams are for you, or showing them that you at least respect their dreams for you. Because like, I look at my son and I have so many dreams for him, right? And I have so many aspirations for him. But if he decides that he doesn't want to do that, then I have to be okay with changing the narrative with him, right? Like being like, okay, so this is where I feel like, you know, because I've been through this, where I feel like you should go, you know, like at least have a job where you're saving money, you know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, on your off time, you know, if you work 30 hours a week, you still have what, 100, what is it, like 160 hours to do whatever you want, you know what I mean? You know, and if it causes you to only get 5 hours of sleep, we're young right now, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I'm a big advocate of get your sleep, and when you're awake, do what you got to do, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I just feel like, you know, sometimes you just have to do a self check. Like, am I working hard enough to make sure that these people who have brought me here, that I'm respecting what they want from me, but also letting them know, because that's, I mean, my mom knew that if I kept going back to this, that it must be something that I really want. You know what I mean? Sure. You know, even when I had jobs, I was still doing music videos, and I didn't need to, but I wanted to, you know? And even when I had secure jobs, I was like, why am I wasting time here? I would text my mom and be like, Mom, I'm here, I'm at work, but I want to let you know that I do not want to be here right now. You know what I mean? And I think that's another thing is my mom's always been, she's a very good mom, but she's also my friend. And so I've always had very easy conversations with her, trying to relay to her how I'm feeling, in partnership with how she's feeling. You know what I mean? Like never being like, okay, how you feel about this is wrong, how I feel about this is wrong, but this is why we feel like this. You know what I mean? And I feel like we could come to a happy medium. And now she's like, okay, well, what you said all along was right, and you could do it. You know what I mean? And now she believes in me more than ever, you know, but I had to fight for it for sure. Like I definitely had to fight to make sure that she knew that I was going to be okay, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Legit, bro. That's legit.
Yeah.
I know for me, you know, I was never big on college either. You know, I went to a community college as well, and I hated it, bro. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just get this paper from my mom and just say, look, I did it. Like I did it for her. Like I always tell her, like, Mom, I finished my associates for you. You know, I wasn't big on school, bro. I was always like, I don't want to work for somebody anyway, so why am I going to school? You know, and so I just had to kind of push through and just get it done. And then I remember like she didn't believe that I had finished my associates, and so I remember in the mail one day, and I was like, Mom, like, I knew what it was, and when the mail guy came, I'm like, Mom, this is for you. And Lord, you know, it was really for me. Right. And she opened it, bro. It was my diploma, man. And she was shook, bro. Because like she didn't think I was telling the truth. I'm like, Mom, for you. I'm like, I don't even want it. Like I don't want to put it on. I don't care. I don't care. Right. So she got it at the crib, but yeah, like sometimes you just got to do it for her. But my mom, like, I'm good now. Like, let me live my life.
Right. Exactly. I did it how you wanted me to do it, and now let me do it how I want to do it.
Right. Yeah. So that's awesome, bro. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I can feel that. I, you know, coming from parents who are immigrants, you know, they didn't have any of the opportunities that we have here. And, you know, I think even just finishing high school was was crazy, you know, because they didn't even, my dad, I think he made it to maybe second grade. And, and like, you know, that was it. So like they wanted me to go to school, and I went, you know, first semester, and like I was never bad at school. I was, you know, but it was just something about that I felt like there's just this pressure, I think, here of like school gives you a status. And I think, you know, I feel like, you know, being immigrants, they feel like they need to prove that they're worthy of being here, and, you know, and like that status shows of like, hey, you know, we're doing what everybody else is doing, and we can be here too. So, but I think I've always wanted to fight that stigma of like, you don't need to have a college degree to be anything great. And so I feel that though. I feel the kind of butting head sometimes and having those conversations with your parents. You know, it's never been easy, and you know, I don't feel like we're still kind of butting heads sometimes, but I feel like more now. I think they've seen that, you know, I'm able to do this, and you know what I'm capable of doing. And I mean, I know you must feel that sense of accomplishment of like, you know, you did, you know, what they wanted
Right.
you to do. You went through the jobs, but you know, now you're like able to do this full time, able to provide. And I think
Right.
there's that sense of accomplishment too there that kind of just pushes you even further to continue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause still to this day, bro, my mom, she'll call me. She'll like, oh, my job is hiring, because she works in the mortgage industry.
Yep.
Like, my job is hiring for a loan officer. I'm like, Mom, you know darn well I ain't trying to do
I'm not trying to, right.
Like, I'm good. And
Right.
like, she always tells me, like, you know, I know you're gonna always say no, but I'm gonna keep asking. I'm like, well, I'm gonna always keep saying no, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes, still to this day, man, I still kind of have to kind of, you know, because sometimes it can kind of bring me down a little bit, because she knows that I want to be, you know, an entrepreneur and have businesses, but it's almost like, well, dang, Mom, like, do you believe in me? Like, what's up? You know?
And it's like how we looked, or how we talked about before. You have to look at in the future and how you'll be able to look at her and hand her something, just how you did your diploma, and be like, this is why I said no. Right. And that's one thing that I look at is especially when it comes to parents is just because you don't understand now, one day you'll get it. Right. And one day, and I'm not going to hold it over you for not getting it, because I'm going to let you reap the benefits of it how I did, right? Because even though you didn't see it, you got me to this point, right? Because all of your calls asking me if, you know, I could come work for the mortgage company, I thought about that while I was shooting, or while I was selling my shoes, or whatever, right? And I know you didn't mean it maliciously, but it hurt me, and it hurt me enough for me to go get it, right? And that's how I feel. And that's how I felt like when my mom would be like, you know, I'd ask my mom for like $30-$40 towards rent or something, right? And she'd be like, well, if you had a real job, right? And those are the moments where I looked back, and now she hasn't had to help me in I don't even know how long, you know what I mean? And I look at that, and she'll bring it up. She'll be like, you know, when her and my dad had me around the same age that me and Kayla had Channing, and she's like, you know, if I had to do what you did at the point that you're at, we wouldn't be doing it how you're doing it, right? Like, you know, and I tell people all the time, like, my dad really, really, really worked. Like, my mom went to school my whole first 4 years of life, right? Yeah. So my dad had to really go get it out the mud, and he missed a lot of things, and I didn't want to do that. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I watched my son take his first steps on a Wednesday in the afternoon. Where would I have been if I was a regular person, right? I'd been at work. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I got to witness that because I was at home, because I decided that I'm going to make this happen, right? I'm going to go get it for him so that I can be there for him, right? And that's how, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I miss some stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the first time he ever said something, I was at a shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
You good?
The first time, like I said, the first time that he ever said something, I was at a shoot. And I was pretty upset about that. But that was one of those moments where I realized, like, I am working. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't just, because sometimes when you're creative and you start getting this deep into it, your work stops becoming work, which is a good thing, but also sometimes can be a hindrance, because you stop going as hard because it doesn't feel like you're working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to, like, that really put it in perspective to me that, like, okay, I'm still getting it out of the mud. You know what I mean? No matter how far I am, like, I'm still doing what I got to do to make sure that I can get to a point where, you know, I can do 1-2 videos a month, you know, instead of having to do 2-3 videos a week, you know? So.
Right.
So, and I kind of want to just like bring this like a little bit to a different direction but kind of be in the same world. Like, I think that our parents grew up in such a drastically different time than we have. And like, we have the internet now, and the internet has allowed us to not have to go to a regular 9 to 5 job to make a living and be able to do things where we're at home and be able to witness things like seeing your son take his first steps. Like, I think it's hard for our parents to kind of grasp that the world has changed so drastically within the time frame of us being born and being here. Like, there's people becoming millionaires because they posted videos on the internet, you know? And so like, I kind of want to go into that realm of like how the internet has changed the way that we think about work and how we think about just being an entrepreneur, because you go back 50, 60 years, and when people said entrepreneur, you thought of the door-to-door salesman that sold you knives or that sold you that Tupperware set, you know? And so like now you have the ability to resell shoes online, to post videos, to do, you know, things like that. And so I kind of want to bring up the question of like, do you guys feel like the internet has become something that's helping us, or that is hindering us from our work ethic?
I definitely feel like it helps me. I think about it like I probably have 1,500 followers on Instagram, right? That's 1,500 people who are following my portfolio, right? Because I don't post anything more than, you know, even when I do post to my family, it's usually a pretty high quality picture that I took. And like, so every time I post something, I'm posting my work out into the world to X amount of people, right? Now, granted, everybody thinks they're an entrepreneur now, which is, you know, not always the best thing, you know, because it kind of has diluted the word. You know, I know that, you know, you like Gary Vee, and I think Gary Vee talks about that, how like, you know, the word entrepreneur is getting like so thrown around that it's like, when I tell you that, you don't even, like, when he was saying he was an entrepreneur, people made side faces at him or weird faces at him because they knew that meant that he didn't have a real job and he was doing what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? Or a real job to most people's standards. Yeah, like I feel like I said, I feel like it helps, but also there's people who kind of take it in the way that, like, just because like, you know, you sold, you know, your H&M shirt that you stopped wearing 2 years ago online doesn't make you entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Now, if you went and, you know, thrifted a shirt from 93 and, you know what I mean, that you're specifically going out and doing that to be able to resell, I would call that an entrepreneur. But just because, like, you know, you made, you know, Kate's Closet on Instagram and you're selling all of your old stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be done with that in a week and you're not going to care, you know? So, like, you know, I feel like I said, I feel like it gets, you know, kind of, you know, diluted by those people, but the people who actually do use it for the beneficiary of for the benefit of their business, then obviously, yeah, it's gonna help them. You know what I mean?
I agree with that too. I think it helps a bunch, but also it can kind of hurt you in a way, because I think sometimes if we go on YouTube and, you know, we try to look up something in, you know, entrepreneurial, there's always some people that are just doing that just for the status of it. They're not really an entrepreneur, but they're just trying to promote it because they're trying to get views.
Right.
You know? Or you go on Google and you will search different art. Like, there's just so many things to where it's almost like we almost have too much access to something, because sometimes, like, we can't trust that person that wrote that, or trust another person that, you know, that did a video on it. So it's like we almost have to be careful with what we look at or view, because we might get hooked onto that, and then it's like, oh man, like, low key, that wasn't really true, you know? Like, right. But I think it can help us big time as well, because, like, man, like I like, you know, I go to thrift stores and I find sneakers and athletic shoes and dress shoes, and I go on eBay and find out what it sells for, you know? Right. And so that helped me to learn, okay, so if I want to buy a pair of Nikes, how much money can I get for this shoe? But I wouldn't know that unless eBay told me, oh yeah, so-and-so sold this pair of shoes for 45, 50. You know,
I respect you for doing that, bro, because I'll be watching those videos on YouTube and I'll be thinking, there's no way I'm finna walk through this Ross and look up SKU numbers on eBay and look at.
No,
but I love watching it though.
Bro, you know what? It's not easy, bro, because
it's not. Nope.
You know what's tough too, man, is that like sometimes, I'm a size 10, 10 and a half, right? So sometimes I'll go to a thrift store. I'm like, man, these Nikes kind of nice. Like, myself, but I don't need them. So I already got a bunch of J's in my closet just sitting that I've never even worn.
Bro. I used to sell shoes and I would pick up a pair and I'd be like, ooh, these are 13. These are 13.
Bro,
no lie, I did it a few times, but I got better.
I mean, I got J's sitting in the closet, bro, that I bought from 2 or 3 years ago, bro. They still dust, dog. I haven't even worn them, but man, I had to kind of just learn how to do that, and that's because of YouTube, and that's because of I follow guys on Instagram that do this full time, and they make $10K a month, bro, just flipping shoes from the bro. And I'm like, I'm nowhere near close to that, but when I see that, when I get on my phone sometimes, and I see that, it motivates me because
it makes it real.
Yeah, because I didn't have a sale yesterday, so it was like, hey man, homie just sold 100 pairs in one day. Like, I can do that too, but also too, I look at that, but I need to get out there and do it. It's not just gonna come to you. Like, the shoes are not just gonna float in the air and drop in your hands like a football. It's not gonna happen like that. And so I think it's important for people to realize, like, man, yeah, there's so many people to help motivate us. Like Gary Vee, bro, he like lit a fire in me, right? But then I realized, I'm like, okay, yeah, Gary Vee is telling me these things, but what am I doing about it?
You're spending too much time watching the videos and not actually doing what he's talking about in the video.
And I think he had said something too, like, man, like, for the people that are watching my videos, stop and actually go do something about it.
He said, if you've been watching my videos for over a year and you're still watching my videos, then you're not doing it right or something. And that's when I was like, oh, okay. Because I was like, bro, I'm still watching him. You know what I mean? Like,
but I had to learn that myself. I'm like, man, like, I need to just actually, go do something about it. And because of Gary Vee, but also that drive in me, I'm able to do what I do full time and live in an apartment. Because, bro, like years ago, dog, like, I was still living in my mom's crib,
Absolutely.
And I was doing my reselling thing, but she was like, it's time for you to go. If you want to get full time in what you want to do, it's time for you to leave. And so it took me pretty much having to find a place in 2 or 3 months because she kicked me out, bro. And I tell Eric this all the time, like, bro, like, I remember I was like, bro, Eric, I don't even remember this, man, but I was like, man, I'm just gonna find a job, bro. Like, I can't do this no more. Like, I just can't. I remember, man. My mom was just stressing me out, bro.
I remember that time period, bro.
Yeah,
I remember.
I'm scared to go home, bro. Like, I'm like, man, I just want to sleep in my car, bro. Like, bro, it was some dark days, and it's not because I hate my mom. Like, of course I love her, but it's almost like it was that fuel from her telling me to get a job and to do something that she likes to do. Really,
because if she doesn't think you can do it, then who else is going to think that you can do it?
Exactly. And so I kind of had to show her that I can do this, but she had to also do something that was kind of like uncomfortable for me. It was like, you need to go find you a place. Like, it's time for you to get out. And so, but I was going through a tough time. Like, man, like, I'm just gonna find me a job. Like, Eric, bro, like, I'm just gonna go on Indeed and whatever and look for some jobs. Bro. And I remember I was actually doing that, bro, and I didn't like anything that was on there, bro. Nothing, nothing was like. I used to work at Nordstrom's Rack, bro. I hated that job. I couldn't stand it. Retail sucks, bro. I had no freedom.
Absolutely.
And so, but I remember, man, I was going through those dark days, bro. I'm like, man, like, yeah, bro, this is it for me. Like, I'm just not gonna be able to do this, man. And then I remember I woke up, man, watched some Gary Vee, and me and Eric would have conversations, bro. And it just took me some time to realize, like, man, like, you got to go out and do it. Like, you just have to find a way to do it. And so
passion without the work is absolutely nothing, bro. You can be passionate about something, but if you're not putting in the work, what you passionate about?
Nothing.
Chilling on the couch. You know what I mean?
And so it took me it took the hard times of having to find a place and not being comfortable living in my mom's house to be like, you know what, that was probably the biggest blessing, bro. And
right. Like I said, bro, hindsight, bro, being creative, looking back is going to be your best friend. Because you'll look back and be like, oh, okay, there it is. You know what I mean? Like,
bro,
you know?
there was no way, bro, that I was gonna think that I can afford to pay $1,000 plus a month for rent.
Right.
Like, there was just no way, bro. I'm just like,
Absolutely.
I'm like, I can't do this. But once I stepped foot, I got the keys, bro, and I was like, okay, all right, so I got a crib now. That's cool.
And now you got to.
Right, but it's like now I gotta go get out and do something.
Got to. Yeah.
You know? And it's not easy. I don't want to sit here and say it's all rainbows and butterflies and cotton candy, but at the same time, like, I had to do something about it. But that was probably one of the biggest blessings for me, is because I had to go through some tough, dark times to get to this, you know. And so yeah, bro, it's crazy how God just kind of he you know, in a way, he uses, you know, our friends, our family to really light that fire in us, bro. If not, bro, who knows where I would have been? You know, I could have been in my car somewhere, like, well, I'm not living at mom's house no more, so let me just go sleep on the side of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's real.
Right. You know, for real.
It's crazy, man. Eric, did you have anything to say about the social media stuff?
I kind of wanted to have a follow-up question to that. I wanted to ask if do you guys feel like social media and the internet hinders or helps your creativity?
I'll start off. It helps. But honestly, bro, like, I'm low-key addicted to social media, like low-key. And I need to stop.
Ain't no low-key about it, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Like it's bad, dog. Like, I'm trying to getting into a routine of, you know, waking up early, going to the gym, and not just being on my phone first thing in the morning. It's tough for me because the first thing I check is eBay or Poshmark or Mercado. But all that. But sometimes, bro, like, if I don't have any sales overnight, I'll just go on social media and just be scrolling for no random reason. Yeah. And like, it's a cycle for me, bro. I'll go from Instagram to Twitter and be like, man, what's happening on Twitter, man? What happened overnight? And then I'll go to Facebook and be like, all right, man, what happened overnight? And nothing happened overnight, bro. Like, nothing happened. And then I'll get up, man. I'll, you know, get fresh, and I'll go back on my phone again and do the same thing. And then I realized, I just wasted an hour of my day.
Absolutely.
Looking at social media.
Absolutely.
When there's really nothing there for me to help me make money. You know, there might be some Gary Vee videos, but man, like, I just wasted all this time when I could have been at the gym burning some calories, bro, and get this fat.
For real.
So it's a blessing. Like, social media is a blessing, of course. It's helped me in a lot of things, but bro, it's addicting 100%, bro.
Absolutely.
And I'm trying to turn that social media lamp off, bro, because if I do, I will be so much productive in my days. Because sometimes I get off to a funky start because I was on social media.
You know?
And so I guess, to answer that, man, like, it's a blessing, man, but man, it's definitely hurt me in regards to my time, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, what I'll say is it definitely goes, like, hand in hand. Like, I'll piggyback off what you said. Basically what I'll say is, like, you just have to watch who you follow. Like, you have to follow people who are going to post on social media to get off of social media, right? Like, I try to limit the people that I follow, especially, like, on my main account to like, creatives, like, and, you know, people who, like, are going to motivate me. I usually don't follow people who are just like, or like clients. Like, I'll follow, like, repeating clients and stuff like that. But besides that, I'm not following Bleacher Report. I'm not following.
Y'all want to know something funny?
What?
I just got a notification from Valandi saying, with the video that's called "Don't Let Social Media Dictate Your Art."
Absolutely.
He just posted that video.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I don't follow the, you know, on my main account, I'm not following the, you know, the Daquans and all that. You know what I mean? The meme pages. I'm I'm not doing that because I know that as soon as I hop on that, I'm watching every highlight and I'm looking at every meme. You know what I mean? Like, bro, TikTok is my worst enemy. You know what I mean?
I have
Because
not
I get on
downloaded
TikTok,
that.
bro,
Yeah.
and it's raps, bro. It's
Yeah.
especially being a parent, because my whole TikTok is these relatable videos about being a father or a mother or being in a relationship with a kid. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, bro. Like I would say, like for me, I definitely I use my screen time like and try to be very just be very like adamant. Like if it says that I have 15 minutes left, I got 15 minutes left. You know what I mean? And I've noticed that when I do put the phone down, my life is happier. You know, I talk to Kayla more. I play with my son more, you know? And that's one thing that'll really get you is like, you know, like when your kid's just sitting there like looking at you and you're just sitting there scrolling on Instagram, you know what I mean? Like, daddy, play with me. And you're like, hold on, wait, this TikTok still going, you know? But yeah, bro, like, you know, like I said, you got to be a warrior, bro. I mean, this social media in general, bro, like you said, bro, I'll get on Twitter and be like, oh, something had to have happened last night. Bro, you've been asleep for 6 hours, ain't nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like
you still alive, your house ain't blow up.
Right,
like,
exactly, right.
Yeah.
Exactly, right. So go ahead and get out there, take you a little 30-minute run, and
right.
TikTok gonna be there when you get back. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
it's
know?
not going nowhere. It's not going nowhere,
Right.
bro. Hey, bro, look, bro, I'm not gonna even tell y'all my screen time, bro, because it's bad. Like, it's bad.
Bro, so I thought mine was bad, and my homeboy just posted a screenshot of his a couple days ago. And I was like, all right, bet. Because, like, bro, I thought mine was bad, but homeboy was like up there. And I was like, all right, bet, I'm good. Like,
yeah, bro.
Homeboy was spending half his day on his phone, literally. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
And it sucks because I work from my phone too. You know, I'm
always
when I'm posting pictures of shoes, I have to use my phone. I don't have a camera on my phone, so I'm constantly on my phone, but I'm trying to learn how to just use it for business.
Right.
Keep all the other stuff to the side for a certain amount of time, you know, because I be having to scroll on eBay and then I pop off and then boom, Instagram is like, all right, I'm waiting on you.
Right there.
Yeah, but I'm like, nah, chill.
Yeah, nah, for real. I do the same thing. Like when I'm waiting for a video to render or something like that, instead of like getting up and like walking around my house for a minute, like going to get some water, like I'm getting on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, you know, instead of like, you know, doing what I should be doing, you know?
Right. Man, that's funny, bro. Yeah, social media is great, man, but sheesh, bro.
Bro.
It's not good.
It's very addicting.
Right.
Very addicting.
So Trace, I was curious, man. What do you see, you know, the future looking like, you know, for the industry of you know, filmmaking and photography? You know, there's so many, you know, I don't really know much about it, man, but you know, it's crazy, man. There's so many photographers and so many filmmakers.
Absolutely.
I'm always curious, man, like, you know, you see all this technology and all these cameras and all you know, the whatever. And it's like, man, like if we're already here and things look amazing and like, what can it be in the future? So I'm curious, like just based on what you know and your experience, like what do you kind of see the future looking like?
I honestly, so like what I think especially, I'll speak for music videos in specific. Now I know that at some point music videos are going to revert back to what they were, right? So you had your Cole Bennett's and your, you know what I mean, you know, et ceteras, who are doing these crazy edits and change the whole game for everybody, right? But that's getting really boring at this point, you know? You can only make somebody fly out of the sky 5,000 times before it's like, all right, bro, I know there's gonna be a sun behind him rotating in the back of this music video. In a minute, his eyes are gonna glow or whatever, you know? Like, so I feel like filmmaking in music videos is becoming more of like a cherished art because, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, I know how to do that stuff, but I'm not going to do it because I know my footage looks as good as it does, and I'm not going to ruin it by putting a fire outline behind you, bro. Like, I'm just not doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not gonna do it, bro. So I feel like the reason why cameras are getting so good is because of the market being as saturated as it is, but also now you having to be able to make a quality product, right, on a budget, because a lot of these people, even not music videos, like, you know, weddings, etc., these people, you know what I mean, like, are still trying to get the most with the least amount, right? Especially when you're first starting off, like, they are trying to get you for as much as they can with as little as possible, which you know, anybody would do. You know what I mean? Like, if, you know, having a wedding is expensive, you know, it's like $1 trillion for food, you know? So, like, obviously I don't want to pay that much money for food and then have to go pay you, you know, $5,000 for this wedding video, you know, that is probably going to take you, you know, 10 hours to make. So, like, I think the reason that that's happening is because, like, you know, you're being able to get higher quality equipment for a lower cost, because, like, you know, the Canons and the Sonys and everybody being able to realize that it's like Walmart, like, I can capitalize off giving you a lot for a little, because you're going to buy it, and then in turn, like, I know you probably struggle with this, Eric. You experience the equipment, like you just feel like you're like, what you have isn't enough, right?
The equipment,
like,
FOMO.
Yeah, bro. Yes, yeah. So you're just like, bro, if I told y'all what I shoot these music videos on, you'd be like, bro, shut up. You feel me? Because, like, I'm the type of person, bro, where, like, I invested in my lighting, and I invested in, you know, like, a couple other equipment, things that aren't cameras, to be able to make this camera look as if, you know, I mean, I was using a cinema camera or whatever, you know, like, people think that, you know, when it comes to dynamic range, you need 15 stops. No, you don't. You just need a light in front of the person exposed for outside. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's stuff like that that's just like, you know, if you think it through, like, you'll be able to make it. And so you have to maneuver in this new wave of, you know, everybody being, you know, able to have a high quality camera, you know, because, like, there's high quality cameras, like, if you know how to use it, that are $400, you know, and that's like just what, you know, Papa Joe is buying to take pictures of his cats, you know. And so it's like, you know, you have to be, like, okay with knowing that there's a bunch of people out here who have quality equipment and stuff like that, but you have to motivate yourself to know that they don't know how to use it how you do, you know, and know that you're different, and that, you know, even if you don't have the best equipment, that nobody can use what you do have how you do. And that's a flex too, you know, to be able to, like, use what somebody may deem as not enough as more than enough, you know, because that's what happens with me, you know. If I told people what I shot on, people would probably be like, huh? And I've had the cameras that are, like, you know, extra expensive, but the reason I reverted was because I saw no difference, you know. I was like, okay, like, I bought this camera and I don't think it's much different than, you know what I mean, than what I currently have, you know, or had before that, so might as well go back and save the money. You know what I mean?
Making use of what you have, for sure.
Right, for sure, bro. I hate when people ask me what camera they should get. Like, don't ask me that, bro. Don't ask me how to use ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. Don't ask me what camera to get.
Right, right. You know what's crazy to me too, bro? Like, I was kind of thinking about this, man. I'm like, man, like, you know, I'm an iPhone guy. I'm sure you guys are too, but it's like, bro, iPhones have to me, I don't know what I'm talking about, but to me, iPhones got some pretty good camera on it, bro. You know, like, it's, of course, it's not the high end joints, but it's still pretty good in my opinion.
Nah, bro. I done seen some people, especially pictures, bro. Especially pictures. I done seen people take some pictures on the iPhone that I was like, bro, there's no way. There's no way.
Right.
There's no way that you took that on an iPhone, bro. Because, like, especially, like, you know, like with the 12, like, I don't know if y'all heard. So, with the LiDAR scanner on the 12 Plus or whatever,
I got it.
They're going to be able to use. You have it?
I have the 12 Pro.
Oh, you're big balling.
You're
right, exactly.
I was up for an upgrade.
I'm
My phone was broken. You know, I'm just, hey, look, phone's up for an upgrade. The phone needed to change.
You don't speak iPhone 8 Plus.
But I was gonna say, like, iPhones, like, now they're shooting raw.
Well, yeah, bro. And so like they're going to be able to use the LiDAR scanner as well for you to use portrait mode inside of a video. So now you're going to be able to get what looks like a huge aperture on a very, very, very small sensor. And that's going to be very scary for a lot of people. That's the only way that you can tell that an iPhone video is an iPhone video is because there's no depth of field. But now that they're going to be able to use that, honestly, bro, you might as well just use an iPhone. You know what I mean?
No
like,
excuse. Yeah.
You know, but honestly, bro, if you tell me you don't have a camera, but you got an iPhone, you tripping. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to get together right now, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's good for people to know, man. Like, just because you don't have this bougie camera or just a normal camera, if you have an iPhone, you can still do just
make it an aesthetic. Make it an aesthetic. Like, if you shoot on your iPhone, make it known that you shoot on your iPhone, and people are still going to book you because don't nobody shoot on that iPhone how you shoot on that iPhone. You feel me?
Exactly.
It's like you just have to make it work for you.
Right, dude.
Yeah,
that's legit, bro.
Yeah, I think that more than ever now, you know, it's so accessible to take pictures and take videos because you have a video camera and a photography camera in your pocket. And
right.
So, like you were saying, I really feel like that the art of filmmaking and taking pictures is going to be held to an even higher standard just because there is so many people that can take a picture, so many people that can take a video and a moment's notice, you know, because you have one sitting in your hand.
Absolutely.
And so I think that the quality of filmmaking and photography, I think it can only go up from here. You know?
Right. Because you have to get better than an iPhone. You feel me? Like, you know, anybody can like I feel like I tell artists all the time that the photo shoot aspect of being an artist has been obsolete because they just take iPhone pictures now. You know what I mean? And they should take a picture out of like the Baby, Russ, people like that, and Drake. Look at Drake's Instagram, bro. Drake don't post iPhone pictures. You feel me? Like, that's a huge part of somebody's aesthetic. And if you have high quality photos that aren't just iPhone pictures on your Instagram feed, somebody's going to know that you're more serious than, you know, Stunner for Vegas, you know, with whatever, you know, like his iPhone 7 picture, you know, like, you know, it's like you said, it's just going to have to go up from here because that's the only way that you're going to be able to be set apart is if your quality is just better than the next man, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Man. So here's a question for you. For the people coming into this space, people that are new, people that, you know, are fresh, what's some advice that you would give them for things to avoid and things to actually reach for?
I would say for one, definitely avoid toxic client relationships because there's nothing that'll get you down more than giving your all to somebody and them taking advantage of it. It'll make you want to quit. You'll literally want to quit because you'll wonder how you could work so hard for somebody and they don't reciprocate the energy. And then as for like goals, I would say like one thing I do is like, you know, I tell people this analogy all the time. If I say that I want to save $400 a month, I'm not going to say that I want to save $400 a month. I'm going to say that I want to save $100 a week, right? Because $100 a week sounds a lot better than $400 a month, right? Yeah. So break your goals down. You know what I mean? Have a big goal and then have a goal for that goal. And then have a goal for that goal, and then have a goal for that goal. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Like right now, I want to lose some weight, but my goal is to not lose weight. My goal is to drink more water and get 10,000 steps a day. Because in turn, that'll allow me to lose some weight. Right. But I'm not looking at it like, oh, I want to lose 60 pounds. Yeah. I want to get my 10,000 steps in, and I want to drink 8 glasses of water a day. You know what I mean? Like, because I know that in the long run, that's going to give me what I want. But 10,000 steps in water is a lot more attainable than 60 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
Break your goals down. Break your goals down.
That's some freaking sound advice there. If you
Right.
take nothing else from this video, that's a nugget.
Right.
That's a nugget.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just breaking down the goals, man. Just having a goal for your goal. So that
right. Like I said, man, if you have a goal, make another goal, and then make a goal out. Like literally in my notebook, I have my big goals, and then I have 1, 2, 3, and then I have A, B, C, and you know what I mean, like, and so on and so forth. Because I know that that's saving $50,000 a year is a lot of money. You know what I mean? But if I break that down to almost $1,000, a week, that's still a lot of money. But it sounds a lot better than $50,000, a year.
Right.
For sure.
That's awesome, man.
Right.
That's advice for me too. That range of weight loss and trying to
do that with your rent. Do it with your rent. It helps me out.
Right. And just being healthy, man. It's like, of course, we want to reach that goal of losing this X amount of pounds, but don't just look at that. Look at what you have to do to get to that point. But just take a step at a time. Like don't stress yourself out. Don't run 10 miles a day and think you're gonna lose all that weight.
I don't eat healthy. I do not eat healthy. I get my 10,000 steps in and I drink my water. I'll work on eating healthy next month or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
But I'm not worried about it right now because I've wanted to lose weight so many times, and I go on these like 2-week diets. I'm running every day. I'm doing all this other kind of stuff, and the scale moves 5 pounds, so I stop. You know what I mean?
Scales,
and so I know, and then I go, another 8-10 months without doing anything. When if I just were to use those 8-10 months to break down my goals, then I probably would be at where I want to be at. You know what I mean? So,
yes,
it keeps you from giving up because it's not too big.
Right.
It keeps you from the burnout of just sprinting instead of jogging or taking, a good pace.
Right.
And I think it goes into the whole mentality of thinking it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Running is a lot more tiring than walking.
Right. It's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's true, man. Well, I think that's all we have, Eric. Did you have anything else?
I think that's it. I think the last thing I want to do is just kind of let Trace what you have going on, where people can find you, and kind of just give you this moment to just kind of promote whatever you want to promote.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
Any deals going on?
Bro. I just hit me up on Instagram, bro. I work with everybody, so if you send me good music, man, I'm gonna figure it out for you. You know what I mean? Because I'm an advocate of trying to get people who are talented, some talented work out into the world. So you just hit me up on Instagram, Trey Summers Media, Twitter, Trey Summers, Facebook, Trey Summers, all that, bro. Just DM me, and like I said, man, you send me something good, I'm gonna work it out for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna make sure, because like I said, man, I'm not there yet. I'm not where I want to be yet, and I believe in a lot of people. And that's another thing that you have to do. You have to, like I said, you have to find the people that you believe in, because one of them is going to pop. Especially in the industry that I'm in, that you're in, Eric. Even you, you have to find. Like one day you're gonna go sell a pair of shoes to whoever, somebody big. And now all of a sudden you're the plug for everybody because you got that one opportunity. You know what I mean? So it's just like, like I said, stay down till you come up,
All right, bro. So I'm gonna go hop in the booth real quick, and I'm gonna
do that, bro.
I will let you know.
Nah, man. Bro.
I can't rap, man, but no.
Lyrical miracle.
Right.
Lyrical miracle, spiritual, all up in you. Nah, bro.
But no, man, Trace, bro, man, we really enjoyed having you on here, man.
For sure, I enjoy doing it.
This has been a blessing for us, man, just to really have this conversation, and really just talk about really just life as a whole, putting kind of like the photography to the side, man, just really life as a whole, man, because we all go through stuff, we all have our up days and our down days, man, but I'm just glad that we were able to kind of hopefully help others that are going through similar things in their home, or is trying to start a business, or is trying to, find a camera, or maybe it's like, I got the camera right here. I'm good. I got my iPhone. Like,
for real.
Yeah. So I'm glad that we had this conversation, man. And I can't wait to see what God does for you, brother, man. I've seen your talent on your social medias, bro. And I can already see, man, you got what it takes, man. It's just a matter of continuing to build it,
Right.
So, bro.
Absolutely, bro. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so man, well, we appreciate you, man. Much love to you, bro.
For sure. All love, bro.
I'm gonna hit you up too, bro. I'm gonna follow you on socials, bro. And
let's do it, bro.
We gotta get in touch, man, because I haven't really got to chat with you.
Absolutely.
So, man,
all right, y'all.
Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe out here. Okay.
All right, you too. All right.
All right, bro.
Peace.